back to Football Manager once again. We've now made it to the Ebbsfleet fixture, and we are top of the league and clear by 6 points. Since you were last with me, we've had a fairly strong run of form. We had 2-0 win over Hampton and Richmond. We did unfortunately draw with Welling 1-1, and yeah, that's annoying. But let me just quickly change. Oh, I haven't got this one loaded yet, but let me quickly insert the columns that I normally insert. So we've got attendance needs to be inserted. All seems fairly new, fairly easy. And then finally goal scorers. We'll put that one there. Now, as you can see, nothing all that interesting until we get to around here. And you'll notice that Umar Traore scores for us. Yeah, I signed Umar Traore. I told you at the start of this season that at some point he was going to play for me, and he is. He's playing on a £250 a week contract, signed from Welling literally about a week after he scored against us in that game, and he's done far better for us than he ever has for Welling. I mean, he scored 5 in 17 for them, but scored 4 in 4 for us, so I'm going to say that it was a fairly good piece of business. So we're going to Ebbsfleet today, and also having in Waterlooville at 5 o'clock today as well. Ebbsfleet are currently in 5th place, so a victory against them is by no means an assured thing. Having and Waterlooville are in 8th place, with the possibility of actually going up to 5th should results go their way and they manage to beat Dulwich Hamlet. We can't drop any number of positions for at least 3 games, because even if Oxford City win 2 games and we lose 2, we're not going to lose a 16 goal difference to them in just 2 games. It's just not going to happen. So obviously you can see this is the team we've got playing today, and Umar Traore is up front. Annoyingly, that is going to have to drop a couple of players out of the team, like Charlie Ball, for instance. 11 goals for him this season, he's dropped out of the team. But given that that's 11 goals over the season as it is, 17 games, 9 goals versus Traore's 4 and 4. I think I know who's the better player at this point in time. Darren Holman is still obviously part of the first team squad as an attacking midfielder. He's effectively scored 1 in 2. Again, I'm not really that bothered. He's an attacking midfielder, not a striker. That seems fair to me. It just seems fair given the circumstances. So let's go forward to the match, and if I'm honest, we're in fairly good form. I mean, unbeaten since the Altrincham Cup game, but I'm not expecting a win. I can't expect a win against a side like Ebbsfleet. They're a team that were a National League side not that long ago, I think possibly even last season, so they are not easy opposition. So for today's match, Ebbsfleet have Jordan Holmes in goal with Chris Solly, Charlie Rowan, Sephar Karaman, Will Wood, Alfie Egan, Josh Payne, Iffy Allen, Patrick Finger, Lee Martins captain, and Rakesh Bingham. Whilst on the bench they have Tom Hadler, Jake Goodman, Jack Paxman, Greg Cundall and Ben Chapman. Whilst we have a largely Cisse in goal with Andrew Burns at right back, Ollie O'Dwyer and Michelle Parker in centre back, with captain Kieran Parcell at left back. Dan Holman is a attacking midfielder ahead of Joe Hanks and Luke Russell in the centre of midfield, with Ross Stern and Stanley as our 2 wingers, with Umar Traore up front. On the bench we have Luke Jordan, Alex Petrovic, Glenn Walker, Charlie Ball and Spencer Hamilton. And I've just noticed there's no number 13. Why is there no number 13? Is that the rules of non-league football? They don't have a number 13? Because if so, why? Genuinely confused with that. Why? Right, let's carry on from our last match, which was a fairly strong win, and let's hope we can get another strong win today. To be fair, after around 10 minutes of football, we've started off well. We now have a throw in on the edge of their box from Parcell to Holman. Now Stanley, who shoots, and Stern picks up the scraps at the far post and makes it 1-0 after 8 minutes of football. And yeah, this is another one of those times where the game's made me eat my words when I said that we're not going to have an easy time of winning this match. Well, here we go. 1-0 up in 8 minutes. We look to be going for an easy win. Of course, saying that, hopefully, it doesn't let me eat my words again, and now that we're not going to have an easy win at all, we're actually going to have a struggled draw or a difficult defeat or whatever. But yeah, okay. They're still coming at us, so I'm definitely not going to say at this point we're going to win this match. 1 goal is by no means a safe result. Again, another throw from Parcel, headed away by Solly, and now to Allen. Ball forward to Bingham, who gets around the centre-back Parker, but is then forced back out wide again. Allen to Payne, looking up, finds Allen again, back to Payne once more, and again to Allen, this time looking forward, but can't get past Burns. Stern, though, is very poor in his running forward and loses the ball. Parker heads it forward, though, from an attempted ball forward. And again, a terrible ball from the defence, but this time Traore now chased another ball that is again poor, but this time does pick up the ball and wastes his shot. All of that work, all of those balls forward, balls back, balls forward again, and Traore makes a mess of the shot at the end of it. That's frustrating. You have to admit, as a fan, that would be frustrating to watch. All that hard work getting forward, and then they fluff the effort at the end. Not good. We need to work on the finishing of Traore a bit, because whilst he scored 4 and 4, he's doing that as well quite a lot. I'm actually going to point fingers and say we've got a guard against complacency, because Ebbsfleet are not an easy side to beat. They will be coming back at us in this second half, and seeing as it's got a highlight at the start of the half, it's quite possible they could be doing it right now. Parcel, ball forward to Stanley, over the top looking for Traore, who's in behind, and he makes it 5 in 5, 14 in the season, and 2-0. Yeah. So perhaps this game likes to make me eat my words slightly in a more positive manner than the last game did, in which, when I was managing at Boston, I'd say things like, oh, we've got a nice 2-goal lead, we should be able to be comfortable in this one, and then we'd lose 4-2. As anyone who watched the Boston series would know, of course. With this win, we actually remain top, but actually extend our lead to 9 points. Hungerford, who are currently in the process of making a comeback up the league, are drawing 0-0 with Oxford City, and this does put us 8 points clear at the top of the table, which is actually very, very good. It means we have even more of leeway in terms of points to games. And thankfully that was a disallowed goal, because he was far too open inside that box. But yes, it does mean we have even more of a secure position at the top of this table with 15 games left to play. Free kick now from Parker, looking for a ball forward, probably for Traore. And now he does play it forward to Traore, but headed back this time to Hanks. Ball forward now to Traore, and he hits the base of the post, and it just goes wide. I've just noticed that there's a 6.2 on our team in Hanks. That needs to be rectified with a substitution after this highlight. Holmes now the ball for Ebbsfleet. Ball forward by Ebbsfleet now. Egan plays it back to the defender. Ball over the top, met by Solly. Now it's effectively a triangle of passes in the middle, and he did look offside, but he wasn't. And Paxman makes it 2-1 to to us from Ebbsfleet. I'll make that first change now. Hanks coming off for Walker, and if I'm honest, I think the person that needs to come off as well as that is probably Ollie O'Dwyer, because that was his side to mark the player running forward. So we'll put in Spencer Hamilton, and hopefully we can make sure we don't lose this lead now. Annoyingly, I've noticed that in this game I don't seem to be able to make the 5 substitutions. I'm not sure if that's because it hasn't been implemented in the update this save was started in, or if it's just not in non-league football or not, I'm not too sure. But it doesn't seem possible. When I tried to do it a couple of games ago, I tried to make 5 changes. It didn't let me, obviously, because there's only 5 players on the bench. Could be the reason why, but I'm not too sure. Ross Stern now coming off for Luke Jordan, simply because he's low on condition, but we're going to keep Dan Holman on because he's a workhorse and can play in this sort of condition as well as being low on stamina. And thankfully, we did manage to beat Ebbsfleet 2-1, and we remain at top of the league, and I believe we stretch our lead even further. Of course, I didn't actually notice what the score was at the end of the match between Hungerford and Oxford, so for all I know, Oxford could have won 3-0, but they didn't. They actually lost thanks to a 92nd minute winner, meaning we are now 9 points clear at the top of the league, and 10 points clear of Billericay in third, meaning that we have got 4 games of security before we have to worry about falling down the league again. But as mentioned, Hungerford are actually making somewhat of a resurgence up the league. They haven't lost since they played us 4 games ago, but prior to that, in the last 10 games, they've lost 4. For a team that are second bottom, that's not bad. I must say, 4 defeats in 10 for a team second bottom, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. 5 straight wins for Chippenham now, which is very nice. You'll probably notice here I've got an Arbroath job application. That's because at the start of March they sacked their manager and I was apparently one of the candidates for the job, but I don't believe that. I'm just putting in an application just to see if there's any truth to the rumour. Simple, really. As well as that, I'm probably not going to stay at Chippenham much longer than maybe this season, start of next season, possibly, because the financial situation of the club is not strong enough to see them rise properly through the leagues. At Boston, they had a buyout at the end of the second season, which was what saved them from effectively going into administration as they entered League 2. But I don't think it's going to happen with Chippenham. It happens a lot less in this game for some reason. But it doesn't really matter. So until we play Havant and Waterlooville at 5 o'clock today, as I say every episode, I bid thee adieu and goodbye.